some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it. Just eat it.
Hey everybody, Coach Cliff, a long overdue third nutrition video. I want to talk about lunch and snacks today to help you get through the day. A couple things I want to touch on first is that in the last video I talked about not having to eat 3 meals or not having to eat 6 or 9 or whatever meals per day, and that 3 meals a day is okay to do. For the last 10 or 15 years in our industry, there's been a lot of research that shows that eating more often throughout the day will keep your metabolism up, and that's absolutely true. And if you can do that, and you want to do that, then go ahead and do it, because we're going to talk about snacks and things you can have in between your meals. The point I was trying to make last time, and I got a lot of questions about this, and good questions, was that if you're a bodybuilder or you're a person who says, I want to put on a good amount of muscle and I want to keep it and I want to have some really solid strength, then you need to eat more often, absolutely, definitely. Now, if you keep your metabolism up by eating more often throughout the day, it is up and it will help you. So if you can eat 6 meals a day, do it. You will not be hampered if you only eat 3 meals a day, or on some days 2 meals a day. It's not going to not allow you to get fit or in shape. The only people that I really am concerned about is someone, when I get guys that come in and work out with me and they say, I want to add a ton of muscle. They're a high school kid that wants to do it for sports. I want to add some muscle. It's really important. I want to put on 20 pounds of muscle this summer. They need to be eating a lot throughout the day, a lot of food, very often throughout the day. For the rest of us mere mortals, and especially for runners and triathletes, and someone says, I just want to be fit and in shape and I want to run, whatever, then doing that is not as important. So my point with it is that don't stress about it. If you miss a snack, don't even think about it. It's not a big deal, just move on. And if you choose that, look, my lifestyle is such that I eat 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day and that's what I like to do, you'll be fine. You'll be healthy and fit and you'll be able to lose weight doing that. So I think the thing was that, yes, it does work. There is research that shows that it's better, but it's a small amount, and I'm not going to worry about that. The second point I want to make is here's a mindset that I want you to have with eating, and this is what I have to do, because I think most people think that all trainers are supposed to be people that only eat healthy all the time, and it's absolutely not true, especially this time of year. We just got done with Christmas, and it's January 2nd as I'm filming this, so I'm still in holiday mode a little bit, and all the good food's around, and you eat them, it's the holiday time, you're with friends and family, that's what you do. So I'm not a trainer that eats perfectly all the time. I do try to most of the time to eat really well because I know the difference that it makes in me. But don't think about having to take foods out, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to think that I'm going to take these foods out and not eat this anymore. So like bread, for example, I talked about that, cut the bread out of your diet. So yeah, we got to, if that's a choice that you made, then pull that out of your diet, but don't think about that so much. Think about what am I going to put in, because when we go to the grocery store and we think, what can I have? Well, I went to the grocery store. I've got all kinds of stuff to show you. I've got all kinds of different foods that you put into your diet. So think about, here's what I have this many calories I can put in during the day. What am I going to put in? And put all that good stuff in. And then if there's some room for some extra stuff that's not as good, it probably won't hurt you as much. Okay, so how much food do you put in throughout the day? What's the calorie count? I got to ask that too, and it's a great question. I always used to say for women, generally, it's between 1,400, 13 to 1,400, maybe as high as 16 to 1,800. On the higher end, if they're working out very hard. For guys, it's kind of a level of 18, 19, probably 2,000 calories and up to 2,500 calories, somewhere in that range. Here's the thing, is that a calorie is not just a calorie. A calorie is comprised of all kinds of different foods. And we used to always think that a calorie is a calorie, and that's all that mattered. So most diet programs, the mainstream diet programs like Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers, they basically tell you eat whatever you want, and they don't all do that to that extreme, but it's basically eat whatever you want, can't stay in this calorie range. And the thing is, it works, but you're dying because you're starving. And the reason that those cravings come in and you feel so horrible is because your cells aren't getting all the nutrients you need. Let me give you an example. If you have Cheetos, which is probably my favorite snack food, but if you have a bag of Cheetos and you eat until you're full and you don't want any more, you wait for an hour and you're going to be hungry again. And the reason is not because you didn't get enough calories. You probably get a ton of calories if you ate a lot of them, but your cells don't have the full complement of nutrients that it needs to be healthy. So it sends out a message to you to go get some more food. Even though you ate enough calories, you're going to have cravings, you're going to be dying. And I'll tell you that message for you to go get more food is stronger than a heroin addict to go get heroin. That's a fact. I mean, the research has found that before. So don't think that you can eat 1,000 calories a day of non-solid nutrient food and do it for a long period of time, for more than a week or two. We're not built that way. So don't think about what you're going to take out. Think about, what am I going to put in to fully fill all my cells with all the nutrients that I need. And I'll tell you, it makes it so easy when you think about it that way. So I'm gonna put all these good foods in, I'm gonna show you all those. So think about what you're putting in, don't think about what you have to take out, because you don't have to take out anything. Just put in the good stuff first, and if there's some room for something else that you wanna put in there, a small amount of it's not gonna hurt you, especially if you're working out. All right, I went to the grocery store today, I got all kinds of stuff. I'll show you a lot of different good snacks, but let me start with lunch real quickly. I'll do for lunch, if I didn't do a green smoothie, and that video is the first one I did, I think, yeah, that's on here. So you can go back if you didn't watch the green smoothie video, or just Google green smoothie, and you can pick and choose a whole bunch of different smoothies that are out there. If I don't do the smoothie for lunch, because I did eggs, avocado type thing for breakfast, I will do lettuce and sardines. Now, I don't know if you've had sardines before, but I don't know that I used to have those growing up, but it tastes good. It's just fish. So, and here's the thing too, is a lot of times I'll say things or show you foods, and if you don't like it, don't eat it. Don't eat something you really don't like. So you can do sardines and lettuce. Now this is baby spinach because I haven't acquired enough of a taste for just straight spinach, and I can eat that and I'm fine with it. Kale, probably not, but enough of the dark green leafy lettuce. If you don't have an acquired taste for just the straight spinach, romaine lettuce is fine. Throw in some iceberg in there, whatever. It's just that this is so many good nutrients in there. So again, I'm thinking this way. What is the most amount of nutrients I can possibly pile in my body so my body can perform during workouts, so that I can feel good throughout the day, so I can have mental clarity, so I can work, so I'm not moody, which can certainly happen, so I can sleep well, so I can do all the things I want to do in life. I want to pack in those nutrients so that I feel good, and so it doesn't bother me when I'm eating this. So I'm not eating it just because it's good for me. I'm doing it because I want to get the nutrients in so that I can live the life that I want to. Sardines, just like salmon, fish, healthy omega-3s. Eat this for lunch and you're not going to be hungry thereafter. Or, if you don't want that, here's a quick and easy salmon thing. Or you can buy the bags of regular salmon. So go to the tuna aisle, and you could have tuna with the lettuce. I didn't grab a can of tuna to pull out, but can of tuna, or the salmon, or the smoked salmon, smoked Nova Scotia salmon. So a little bit more expensive, but really super good, especially on a bagel with cream cheese. But sardines, so lettuce and some fish is what I'll typically do for lunch. I try to have fish every single day. The question that you just thought, and I know a lot of people already thought this, is what about mercury in the fish and some of the bad stuff? The negative to the mercury that might be in the fish is so much less than the positive benefits to actually eating fish. So don't worry about that. And that's just not my opinion, that's an opinion of a lot of different, so that's not research, that's just an opinion. That's an opinion of a lot of people that I respect very highly, is that the positive benefits far outweigh the small tiny risk that there might be in that. So don't worry about that, eat fish. Even if you eat it 2-3 times a week, it's fantastic. I try to get something in every day, and that's why I buy this, so that I can just grab a little bit or have it just a little bit on the side, so I'm having some on there. Okay, other main things for lunch, that's kind of the main stuff for lunch. So either the salad or the green smoothie. When I get into dinner stuff, I'll have a lot more examples for you of things that you can already have prepared. Leftovers are great, and we'll go through some of those dinner recipes. So that's not all you can have for lunch. There's a million things that you can have for lunch. Here's another thing that's really quick and easy. Hard-boiled eggs are really great, obviously, because eggs are good. And if you had your eggs for breakfast, and you may not want to do this again, and that's okay, but if you haven't done eggs and you want an egg or two, here are hard-boiled eggs that are already hard-boiled and peeled. Now, I paid $2.48 for 6 eggs in here, which is kind of expensive. So if you want to hard boil your own eggs, that's one task I really hate to do. Not the hard boiling, but the peeling them. And I think there's tricks for getting the peel off or the shell off a little bit easier, but I don't know, I hate doing that. So hard boiled eggs, and you do put a little bit of salt on that, and then add veggies to that. So cucumber, and I'm not a huge fan of cucumber, but again, it's one of those things that I'll just eat some because I know it's so good for me, and just a small amount of it. Or zucchini, I like this a little bit better too. Great summer vegetables. So if you have eggs, the hard-boiled eggs, which I think is, of course you can cook the eggs too, and you can also have hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. And some veggies along with that, slice that up. Or with carrots and celery. Okay, so I'm showing you some vegetables. Get organic if you can for the vegetables that don't have an outside shell on it. So cucumber, probably don't need to go organic with it because the pesticides aren't going to get inside. Zucchini, if you peel it and eat it, you're not going to get the pesticides, you don't have to go organic. Carrots, because you're probably eating the outside unless you peel it, but although because that skin is a lot thinner, you maybe want to get the organic. So these are organic eggs. Back to the organic thing. I'm going to do another video on the organic type stuff and talk about my opinion on all that stuff. So anyway, Organic, and then celery. This, go back to the carrots. The carrots, I bought these already prepped, cut, cleaned, peeled, all that kind of stuff because it's a task. Celery, you know, when they put these two together and they have all the celery prepped, it's a lot more expensive, but these aren't that much more expensive than the regular carrots. So just depends on the amount of time that you want to put into prepping, peeling, preparing, and getting everything set. The key to this whole thing, to finding success in this, is to have these all prepped, washed, ready to go, so you can walk by, grab it, put it in your mouth as you're walking past, rather than having to, you know, say it's time for a snack, and you open the refrigerator and you look at this and you go, what am I going to do with that? I don't have the time, or I don't want to put in the time, or I'm lazy, and that's okay sometimes. I don't want to cut this up and prep it right now, but if it's already prepped and ready to go, so I'll clean it, wash it, same thing in it, and cut it into pieces and put it into a container, a Tupperware container of water. So two things that are easy to do. What else do I do with those? Is dip it into hummus. I eat a ton of hummus. This chickpeas, the ingredients are just pretty much that. Hummus is really good for you. You can make your own homemade if you want to. Hummus is not that expensive, and you can get all the different flavors. I buy the bigger containers of the least expensive one that I can find. So that, along with, or if you want to, and I will admit to you that I've never bought these before, but I'll eat them. And when I look at these kind of things, it's kind of like, but I'll put a little side, I'll put a little bit on the salad just to make sure I'm getting the full complement of the nutrients. So tabbouleh and chickpea salad. So they're good, I'll eat them, but I usually put that kind of stuff on the side. Here's another snack that you can just have handy, is a good trail mix type of thing. Look for things that don't have a lot of the sweets in there, or a ton of dried fruits. The only dried fruits in here are cranberries and raisins in here. But this is the Texas Kickin' Wasabi trail mix. So find a trail mix that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. This is great to have around, and I'll eat plenty of this throughout the day. Another quick and easy snack, takes a little bit of prep time, cantaloupe, which is so good for you. Cut this up, cut it into little tiny pieces, and then a killer way to have prosciutto, to have cantaloupe, is to wrap some prosciutto around. A little bit more gourmet thing, but it's awesome. And I talked about the other day, the tomatoes. If you don't like tomatoes, I mentioned eating that with eggs for breakfast, and someone emailed me and they said that I hate tomatoes, what do I do? Look, if anything that I say is something that you don't like, don't eat it. Just eat the things that you like. I'm not a huge fan of this. This is kind of one of my medium things of like, I'll eat it, it's fine, but I'm not crazy about it. But I know they're good for me, so I will eat it, and I'm fine eating it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. A couple other things. Here's mushrooms, and I'll dip that into the hummus. Olives by themselves, this is a really quick and easy, just grab a few of these and go. It's olive oil. Super healthy for you. Just have a few olives on the go, and that's great too. All right, here's one, super acquired taste, and I'll probably later on another video, maybe, talk about. This is kimchi, fermented food. So there's live bacteria cultures in here, and one of the things that does, I will talk about it because I do want to go into the probiotics and the bacteria and intestinal health, because that's where your immune system starts, and that's where digestion happens, and you want proper good digestion. We'll talk about that later. But one fermented food that I will have, super acquired taste. If you've never had this before, and you get this the first time, it is really tough to eat it. But the bacteria that's in here is just like yogurt, and that's really, really healthy for you. So fermented foods are really good. So kimchi is something you don't have to have. It's not bad. What else do I have? Two crunchy snack foods that are good is veggie straws and hummus chips. I've had these before. They're good. Hummus chips I never had. I bought these just for this and tried them. They're really good. So go to the chip aisle. I went to H-E-B. Look in the chip aisle. There's plenty of chips and crunchy snacks that, you know, a lot of people, well, I do too, want a crunchy snack at some time during the day. There's plenty of good things like this. When you look at the ingredients on it, if you can read all the different words and know what it means, it's probably good. So these are really good. Here is probably one of my main snacks that I eat a lot is turkey jerky. And beef jerky is okay, but for this, get the turkey jerky. You're going to spend a lot of money on jerky though. That's the only thing, is that it's really expensive. So I do eat a lot of it, but I don't eat it all the time just because it's like $5 for each of these bags. So that's a lot, and there's not that much in here. So I could eat one of these in one sitting. That's a lot. You can make your own beef jerky. I've done it before. I don't have a dehydrator. If you have one, it makes it really easy. You can experiment with that. So jerky is a really great and easy snack. What else do I have? I think that's it. Probably gonna end this and realize I missed something. I'm gonna put everything that I talked about down in the show notes so you'll have that. So here's the key, is prep all these things before. So my carrots and the celery, I'm gonna have that ready to go. And they're just things, because all of these things are things that I can walk by when I'm hungry and I don't wanna really take the time to take any more time than I need to. And I can just eat it and go. And the other key too is to make sure that you're eating before you're really getting hungry, because once those cravings start to set in, or you feel like I am starving, you're not going to want to eat this food. It's like disgusting when you're starving. When you're starving, you want the best food that you can possibly have. So make sure you eat before you're starving. And the other thing too is just look at this is how can I get in the max amount of nutrients that I possibly can. So we've hit breakfast, talking about a couple different ideas there, snacks, lunch, because I'll typically leave this for lunch. You'll have more lunch ideas when I get into the dinner video, which will be the next one. But if you just stick with these things and you eat these things, you're not going to have cravings. They're going to go away. Your body composition is going to change the way that you want to. But best of all, and this is what I like but more than anything, is your performance is going to get better. Whether it's performance at work, home, school, whatever, that your brain functioning, you feel good throughout the day, you're not sleepy, you're not tired, you're not having that 3-4 o'clock crash in the afternoon, which is so common. And this is your 5-hour energy stuff right here. You don't need 5-hour energy. Eat this stuff, and this is what does it. This is what you need to be doing. So I hope that helps. What else? I think I'm done. See you in the next video. I have the next one out tomorrow, I promise. See you then.